Welcome back. Let's get your international details where Boris Johnson has agreed to now stand down as the Tory leader, will continue to remain as the Prime Minister until a new leader is elected. That is a statement that has been released by Downing Street as Boris Johnson's government seems to be now imploding.
After back-to-back setbacks, Boris Johnson until recently also continued to say that he will fight, but now agreeing to step down. He will stand down as Tory leader until the next leader is elected. He will continue to be the Prime Minister. In fact, until yesterday, Boris Johnson was clinging to power and said that he will fight on. He had also responded to a lot of calls that had come in from his own loyalists as well, asking him to step down because of the scandals that had plagued his government.
So Boris Johnson seems to be earlier desperately clinging to power after suffering an exodus, really, if we can call that, Srinjoy, because more than 40 resignations that had taken place there, he seems to have now come to a decision.
Yes, finally Boris Johnson appears to be keen to resign. And it has taken him a lot of time. It's very important to know how this will work out, because as you've seen, his number two, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, has resigned. As you've seen, other members of the cabinet have resigned. Many of the MPs are very desperately unhappy. So now what happens? Boris Johnson first decided he wanted to step down as leader of the House. Now that's a very rare thing, to be Prime Minister and not be leader of the House. There is an Indian exception to it. Pranab Mukherjee was leader of the lower house, but Manmohan Singh was Prime Minister because he was in the Rajya Sabha. But that is a very rare situation. Boris Johnson cannot afford to be not leader of the lower house, that's the House of Commons, and be Prime Minister. So it is probably getting to a stage when he will step down as Prime Minister. But when that will happen and how that will happen is something that we will have to wait and see. There has been, as you rightly said, enormous pressure because there have been a series of scandals, one after the other, whether it was Partygate during COVID, whether there was Partygate number 2 during the time Prince Philip had passed away. Then there was this case of all the leaks of information regarding Rishi Sunak's taxes. Then you have this sexual predator who was protected by Boris Johnson. So there have been too many scandals. Conservatives in all parts of Britain are leaving the party. They are either going back to Labour or they are going to the Liberal Democrats. So there could be a wipeout in the next election, which is what many conservative leaders fear. So if this is the situation, then Boris Johnson has to go. And that is where we are at this moment. Okay. Boris Johnson will probably have to go. We don't know when, but it looks like he is going to resign.
Okay, all right. Srinjoy, thank you for joining us with those details. Shifting our focus now to some more breaking news coming in.